Again, Paul, Saturday, finally a bit of competitive action. I bet you can't wait, can you?
No, it seems like an eternity since we last played, but no, I think the lads are chomping at the bit as well to get back to a competitive game of football. So everyone's looking forward to it.
Has it been a productive last week and a half?
Well, I say productive. It's we've just tried to keep the lads, fitness levels up and mental sharpness. So, like I say, we've had a couple of behind closed doors games and keep them on it, and it's given me a chance to get on the motorways as well to see a few games. So I would say it was. Yeah,
you played Northampton on Monday, a 1-1 draw. I believe it lasted just about 75 minutes, didn't it?
It did. If I'm honest, if it was a league game, it wouldn't have been played. It was quite hard, but. Testament to the lads that they went out there and it was winning 1-0 up to about 5 minutes before it got called off. Against a strong Northampton side. So it was a good run out. It's better than a training session for us, and we got something out of it. And more importantly, we're going to Saturday's game with a proper competitive game under our belt.
Yeah, it was a mainly first team side that played in that game, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had Notts County, sort of penned in for the Tuesday. We realistically knew that was going to be off with a frozen pitch. So, I was going to take half a side to Northampton, half a side to was going to play at Notts County. But in the end, we took everyone to Notts County, to Northampton. And give everyone a run out. So I'd say more importantly, just for our mental well-being, it was important to get a proper competitive game instead of just training.
Are we close to new signings at this moment in time, or are you just scouring around at the moment?
You never know. I'm hoping to have a signing by the close of the day. But you never know in football. I think everybody. You look at clubs around us and. Just football in general, everyone sort of just seems to dip the toe in the water, but then the activity gets a little bit more ferocious by the time when you get closer to the 31st. So, we're looking. We want to strengthen, and I'd like to think we've got one by the close of the day.
When we last spoke, we were talking about Verma and Kelly, and you were saying they were still on your radar. Are they still on your radar?
Yeah, they're still on the radar, but it seems a strange scenario what's happened at their parent club. So that's all up in the air at the minute. I spoke to the manager a few times, when he came in, but I don't know the situation, what's happening at Kettering at the minute in terms of the managerial sort of situation, in terms of where the players stand. So it's a strange scenario to be dealing with at this present time. So, but of course, we're still interested in both players.
It's an interesting time, isn't it? Because with Darlington, for 20 minutes yesterday, they were dead and buried, and then a supporter comes along and stumps up 50 grand. It's worrying times at the moment, isn't it?
I think the economic climate for us all, no matter whether you're in football or not, I think there's a lot of people that are scrimping and scraping to just get by at this minute. And it's making it hard for people in general. Then you go on to football, and you think of the football clubs that are wealthy usually have people or a person with a lot of money, but there's not a lot of those people around now with disposable income. So it's making life hard, and you feel for football in general. And I think me personally, I think it's going to get worse. Over the next 2 years. And I think football in general might have to cut its cloth accordingly. So, we've got to count ourselves lucky, I think, here, that we've got somebody like John on board. Because if you look at the plight of other clubs, some of their future's not looking too good, But, we hope, and I hope, I'll keep my fingers crossed, we don't want to see any club, go into administration or go to the wall. We want to see clubs thriving. And competing.
What about injuries as well? John Thompson's been at Lilleshall. Have you been able to speak to him how that's going for him?
He's going to Lilleshall. We need to get him sort of fit now. We need to get his heart and lungs going and make sure that the secondary injury that he got, there's no reaction to that. But apart from that, everyone's busting a gut. I think to try and get in the 11 or to try and get on the bench. So it's going to be a tough call to pick a side on Saturday. Because people have been training well. People have played well in behind closed doors games. but that's what I expect anyway. You know, I want people to be chomping at the bit now. This is what I call the business part of the season.
And I bet you can't wait for 3 o'clock on Saturday now.
Really looking forward to it. You know, especially at home now. There's a different feel about us at home at the minute. You know, the support that we're getting is really proactive, and I think he's changing how one or two players. To describe it, I think one or two players are starting to come out of the shell a little bit now, and I think we've got to take a hat off and we've got to congratulate the supporters on that. You know, because especially on last Saturday on the Forest Green game, where it was a horrible game, the conditions were atrocious. It wasn't the best football spectacle by a long way, and for long periods of the game, you know, it was 0-0 and it wasn't very attractive. But the support stuck by us, and I think more important than anything, you know, we came off at half time when it being 0-0, and we come off at full time winning the game, and the support was absolutely excellent for the lads. You know, and if I'm going to say one thing, I think that sort of support, I think it can change our mindset as well as everyone else's mindset, and I think the lads are starting to look forward to playing at home. You know, during the last couple of games, because it really has been proactive towards them.
Thank you.
Last home game, you didn't start with Ben Hutchinson. You were hoping to, but you didn't think he was quite there on the fitness levels. How is he now? Is he?
He's there or thereabouts. I wouldn't have any hesitation in the right system to throw him in. He's in my thoughts for Saturday. In whichever system we play. I mean, like I say, against Forest Green, we played 2 systems in 2 halves. But did well at Northampton. He's a good player. You know. But we need even more competition up there, John. I think, you know, and I'm looking to add another one up there, you know, before the weekend. We have got 1 or 2 choices. We've had 1 or 2 come and train with us, but I'm looking for something that's probably a little bit different to what we already have. So, you know, hopefully we'll get that by the weekend.
What about Hayes and Yeading on Saturday? Bottom 2 club, but it sounds like their recent games they've been belying that a little bit.
Yeah, for me this league, it don't matter where you are, it's that tough and it's that nasty that everyone can beat everyone, and we've got to give them the respect. But at the same time, we're going into it confident that we can get a result.
Another ex-Oxford lad's here at the moment with you, Mr. Chapman. Are you pleased to see him?
Yeah, he's a good lad. He's a very good player. He's had. I read the other day that we had him in and that he was a troubled youngster. He's so far from trouble, it's unbelievable. He's made 1 bad mistake in his life, which obviously he's going to have to live with for the rest of his life. But he's far from troubled. I know a lot more people that have got more troubles than him. But yeah, he's a good player, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? All these ex-Oxford players coming in. Everyone think you're having a word with the gaffer.
No comment. Yeah, obviously they're good players. I mean, the lads that have been there and done it, they've won promotion, they've been successful, and that's what it's about. It's about putting a team of people that have got the ability and the mentality to push on.
And as you were saying there, he has something in his past that he has to fight against. Do you use those in your personal life to try and make you stronger on the football pitch as well as a footballer?
Yeah, 100%. I think whatever you come across in your personal life, whatever challenges and ups and downs you come across, you always use them to your advantage. For me, that's how you kind of come out the other side. If you sit and dwell on it, then you go the other way. But you have to push on, and you have to use everything that you kind of go through to kind of make it your strength.
You've said often, haven't you, that if you knew now what you knew 10 years ago, you'd be in probably a different place.
Hopefully I won't be sitting in the conference, but that's one of them things, isn't it? I mean, I'm somebody that I don't dwell on things. I think you have to kind of get on with your life, and if you make mistakes, as long as you learn from them. I think they're the biggest learning curves, is when you don't learn from your mistakes, when they start becoming mistakes.
What can you achieve in this final third of the season? I understand you've sat around and had a look at all the games and looked and seen what you can do.
Yeah, pretty much. The gaffer's done a bit of sort of psychological thing. We've sort of sat down every game and realistically we've sort of sat in a little group, defenders, midfield and attack, and sort of where we're going to get the points from this year. And I think you have a look at the lowest group total, and we still have us finishing the playoffs. So I think the lads will all keen and optimistic about where we're going to finish this year, and I think if everyone just believes in us, we can sort of go places. But you never know with football, like we always say, it's a funny game, and surfaces or teams that hit a bit of form against you or a bit of luck on the day can obviously alter them results that you predict.
We've seen in the last month, haven't we, the performances started to get better, the results weren't quite there, but it looked like it was beginning to start happening with Forest Green.
Yeah, I think we've sort of realised now, obviously, that we can't play the nice football on the pitches now. They're sort of gone to pot really, so you've got to sort of adapt your game really and dig in, because a lot of teams, like I say, when it comes to Field Mill, it's a great stadium, it's an ex-Football League club as well, so they're going to come back and sit back and hope to hit you on the break and frustrate you, and obviously when the fans are there as well, they want you to win 3, 4 and 5, so it's one of them. We'll just be patient, and like I say, everyone keeps harping on about it, but it's winning ugly and just making sure you get the 3 points no matter how you do it.
What about this week then? Home to Hayes and Yedding, then away at Luton. You can have 2 different challenges really, could you?
I think they're both going to be sort of big tests. Obviously you've got Hayes and Yedding, which obviously a part-time team, which are going to be struggling down there, desperate 3 points, going to probably play a Route 1 star, should we say. And you've got Luton, which obviously are a fantastic club with a big following as well. But I think we've got nothing to fear with either of them, as sort of we played Luton, drew 1-0, and probably should have had the 3 points really out of that game.
Yeah. Now away from Mansfield, you've had a pretty big week, haven't you, at Sincil Bank with the memorial and the monument to Richard Butcher and Keith Alexander. What was that like? Yeah,
that was fantastic. I think we had over 200 people turn up for that. And so for people to come, and so a lot of press coverage as well, so for people to come and sort of pay tribute to them, it shows what they meant. And obviously it's been like a year, hard work as a group of lads trying to sort of fundraise and get it done and put up. So we've still got one more to do at Macclesfield, because we thought it's only fair that they have one as well, because Keith was their manager and Butch was one of their players, so still one more of them to do. But once that's done, I think everyone will be sort of proud that the memorials were created for them both.
It touches Mansfield as well, because Keith was here as well.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's probably the biggest influence probably on my career as a person and as a manager as well, and Butch was probably one of my best mates, so for me that means an awful lot. But as a group of lads as well that were involved in the fund, everyone's sort of focused on raising the money, and to raise what we did, I think was a fantastic achievement.
Are you still continuing the fundraising? Is that something that you're planning to do for a while yet?
Yeah, no, we've still got the memorial fund going. Richard's wife's still sort of heavily involved with it, so we're going to sort of look to probably help local charities and sort of terminally ill kids, sort of 17 to 24. So it's something we're going to do, but probably not as grand a scale as what we did raising money. But I think the next thing will probably be the Lincoln 10k run again, just sort of a way of keeping everyone in touch with each other as well, because sort of when you move clubs, you sort of lose touch with a lot of people really.
Does it show you, we've seen it recently with Gary Speed and Gary Ablett, just how close the footballing community is with things like this? Yeah,
I think it also realises sometimes the pressure that goes with football as well, that people have that pressure and intensity and they get that buzz as well from football, and when you lose that, it affects people in different ways, as you can see with Dean Windass and Gary Speed. So I think people are a bit more aware now of what help footballers sort of need sort of when their careers come to an end. So it's nice that sort of it's out there, but obviously it's very sad as well to see what's happening to people.
Finally, back to Mansfield Town then for Saturday. I think it's a message for the Stags fans to come back and support as well as they did for the Forest Green game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, their last experience probably won't be a great one, to be fair, with that wind and on the pitch as well. But like I say, 3 points is 3 points. End of the day, if you have to win with a scrappy 1-0, I'm sure everybody will be over the moon with that, and Stags fans will go home happy.
Brilliant. Thank you.